Hello and welcome to another ASE Productions video. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing and I'm going to do a performance test, just a quick one, on this HP notebook. Now, I did several videos with a 14-inch HP notebook and it's been very popular, one of my most popular videos to date. And so I thought it would be a good idea to do its bigger brother. Again, this is an HP notebook. It's not a Pavilion. It's not any of those other branded laptops that HP sells. It's just an HP notebook designated by a number. And so I'm going to go ahead and open it up. And I'll tell you a little bit about it as I do so. Now, this laptop was $400. It was $399.99 plus some taxes. And taxes vary depending on where you're at. Ooh, as I bumped my camera, I apologize for that. And so I'm not going to specify that just because, again, it does depend, but it's about 8 or 9%. Of course, in typical Amazon fashion, you have a big box. This isn't the worst I've had. I bought 4 wheels for my Jeep, 3 of which came just in the box that the wheels come in, and then one of which, only one, came in a massive box that probably could have fit 3 of the wheels in it, with just one wheel and just a tiny piece of paper for padding. It was ridiculous. It was hilarious. One of the worst pack jobs I've ever seen coming from Amazon. Now, about this laptop, it does have a Core i5. Has 8 gigs of RAM. It has a 1080 screen, and it has a quote-unquote SSD. Now, I don't know if it's an actual SSD, it's 128 gig, or if it's a eMMC. So that's one of the tests I'd like to do, is to test to see if it's actually an SSD or if it's just a eMMC. Because if it's an eMMC, it's not that great of a deal, because you'll want to upgrade, because that's pretty slow storage. It's really not much faster than, I apologize, I keep bumping my camera. It's not that much faster than a normal spinning drive, which in some ways is good because it doesn't use a lot of power, but it hurts performance so much. And it really, on these lower end laptops, you really want faster storage, because that's where you make up a lot of your performance. So that's everything in the box, just some warranty information and a quick setup guide and some tech support telephone numbers. No power cord. It looks like it uses the same power cord that came with the other laptop. And it has the same design language. It's fairly basic for the design. I think that's one of the things that they did, is they saved money by not putting in for super expensive materials or a very fancy design. Now, it looks almost exactly like the 14-inch, just with a bigger screen. It's got a 15.6-inch screen. Now, I apologize, my room in here is really small and I apologize for that. Hopefully down the road I'll be able to get into something a little bit bigger. Now, initial impressions, like I said, a very similar design language. Keyboard looks pretty much the same. The screen, though, looks like it's a matte screen. I don't see a lot of glare on it. Let's see if the battery has any juice in it. Go ahead and power it on here. And the battery does not have any juice, so go ahead and pause it for a second. I'm going to go ahead and power it, plug it in, power it on for a second, or in a second, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, so as this boots up, we're just going to take a few moments and again go over the specs of this laptop. It does have a 6th gen Core i5 6200U. It's a 2.3 gigahertz processor. I believe that's dual core with hyper-threading. We'll verify that here in a bit. It does have 8 gigs of DDR4 memory. Now, this will be my first system with DDR4, so that means I can't use any previous memory I already have sitting around to upgrade the memory to see what effect that has, because I simply don't have 8 gigahertz, or excuse me, DDR4 memory RAM. It does have a DVD drive, which I could, at this point, I could take or leave it. I honestly can't remember the last time I've used a DVD drive on a computer. I do have an external one that if I do need to use something, I can use that. It does have that excuse me, the 1080 screen. It is a matte screen, which looks really good. If anything, this looks even better than the screen on the 14-inch. Even though it's the same resolution, I think this is a higher screen quality. One thing for sure, it definitely is brighter. For sure. Just real quick, go around. As I said, it has the same design language as the other one, so this is kind of a rippled top here with the HP logo. On this side, this is the right-hand side. You have some light indicators, which I've had a lot of people give me flack for insisting that computers have these, but these are so nice to have. I don't know what it is. I just really appreciate having indicators telling me what my computer's doing. So you have one for power, one for the hard drive LED. There's another one on the other side for charging, which we'll look at. Slot for micro SD, or excuse me, an SD card slot there. This is a USB 2.0. Here's your CD-ROM drive, which I closed it so it went to sleep, so that won't open. Over on this side, you have a full-size Ethernet port, which is awesome. Wi-Fi will never live up to the speeds of an Ethernet port, simply for the fact that Wi-Fi is only half duplex, where Ethernet is full duplex, which means data can travel in both directions over the Ethernet cable, which it cannot do over Wi-Fi. Let's see if I can get this focus. Then you have your HDMI port, and I believe these are both USB 3. So you get one USB 2 and two USB 3 ports for a total of 3 ports. There's nothing on the back except for the hinge and the battery. Go ahead and open this up again. And it's back awake. We don't want to update OneDrive. Okay, so let's see. This is something I think everybody should have. This is my keys, and I have a 64 gig USB drive on here. It's a USB 3.0. I use this nearly every single day. It's so convenient being on my keys. It's metal, which means it holds up and won't break. It has a loop that's integrated that is also made out of metal. Some of them, the loop will, this part will be metal, but the loop will be plastic. Those are worthless. Don't get one of those. This happens to be a Transcend, but I've had a couple other brands in the past. I got this one because it was inexpensive and USB 3. Go ahead and plug it in, and I should have on this USB drive. Make sure I'm plugging in the right port. I am. First time plugging in USB ports, sometimes they're a bit stiff. There you go. What I'm really looking for here is the crystal mark, because what we want to do is we want to see how this system, or see if the drive on this system is truly an SSD or if it is an eMMC. And the fastest way to do that is to determine the speed at which it reads and writes, because the performance difference between an eMMC and a true SSD is massive. So we'll give it a few moments here. Now, while we're waiting on this, just a reminder, down in the description below, I have some links down there. I have a Reddit link. I have a Reddit subreddit dedicated for this channel. I also have a Patreon account. I have a Facebook page. I have Twitter. I don't use Twitter too much, but I do have a Twitter. You can contact me on there. I probably use it more if more people contact me that way. So if you want to ever talk to me, have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Also throw my email address down in there. for my YouTube channel. I check that at least once a day. I try to be good about responding to comments as well. And just starting off, this is definitely an SSD and not an eMMC drive, so that makes me very happy. This did come with, you could buy one of these exact same laptops but with a larger, this only has 120 gig. You could buy one with a 240 gig for another 50 or 60 bucks. I was happy with the 120 gig for now on this system. So, and it actually looks like it's a pretty darn fast SSD, which makes me happy. I don't think the third-party SSDs that I've purchased are quite this fast. So I think it is a good quality SSD that they've put in this system. So I'll go ahead and finish up this unboxing and initial test here. Actually, I take that back. Let me do a couple of things. Just go under Task Manager. And yep, it is 2 cores with hyper-threading. So it is 4 logical cores. It's running at almost 100% disk there. It's got the 8 gigs of memory. And so I'll stop this portion of this video here in just a moment once Crystal Mark finishes up, and I'll go through and do my standard test of performance benchmarks just to compare it to the other laptop that I purchased, the other HP notebook, the no-name notebook, and this is a 15 ay013nr. The other one's a 14 an013nr, I believe. And if you have any questions about this, feel free to ask in the comment section down below, and I will do my best to answer those. And look for another video in the next couple of days with more details on performance, some gaming, maybe some video encoding. I'll compare this to both the 14-inch as well as my ZBook 14, which has a Core i7, a dual core with hyper-threading Core i7, just to kind of see where this Core i5 lines up with. Since they both have an SSD and they both have a similar amount of memory, should be a good comparison test. Anyways, thank you for watching and have a great day.